This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by Edgar Berlanga, one of the hottest properties on the free agent market in boxing now. Edgar, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, man. Can't complain.
Good to hear it. Just before we come on to yourself, obviously I'm sure you're rooting for Amanda Serrano to become undisputed champion on Saturday night. Just talk to me about her fight with Edgar Cruz, what you're hoping to see from Amanda.
About the Saturday, right, with my sister. It's gonna be an amazing fight, man. You know, right now she's making history for my island. You know, she could possibly be the first undisputed world champion coming out of Puerto Rico, and I'm just glad to be there. You know, witnessing it with her, being there, front setter, giving her that support. You know, walking the aisle and just being just being there for my sis.
She's so supportive of fighters in general, but being of Puerto Rican background yourself, how close has she been with you? How much kind of knowledge does she pass down to you?
What people don't know is that we basically started together in boxing. Well, when I started, you know, she was just, obviously she's like 6 years older than me. So when I started, she was already deeper to the boxing. And, you know, we from Brooklyn, you know, we from the same neighborhood. So she lived like practically up the block from me, you know, so I've seen her all my life. I've done sparred with her when I was 12, 13 years old. She was one of my sparring partners, to believe it or not. And, you know, just to see her, the growth, you know, within us, it's insane. You know, I was talking to her yesterday and her coach, you know, my brother Jordan, her trainer, and I was just saying, man, we came a long way, you know, from the Golden Gloves, from training in Ridgewood, Queens, and Bushwick, you know, to selling out arenas, man, is a blessing.
What would it be like for you then to personally see her become the undisputed queen tomorrow, Saturday night rather?
Motivation, you know, right there is gonna motivate me to, you know, to really go in there and try to get that Canelo fight, possibly this year, you know, and become undisputed, go big or go home.
Edgar, let's come on to yourself then. Obviously it's no secret now, you're a free agent, as I said at the beginning of this interview. Just the first question, what prompted you to, in your opinion, just leave Top Rank because you saw a better future elsewhere?
Yeah, man, you know, no hard feelings at Top Rank. You know, I just felt like we wanted certain things, what they didn't want. You know, we kept digging our heels into the ground of certain things that we wanted, you know, they didn't want it. And then whatever they wanted it, we didn't want. So it was like a lot of like miscommunication. It was a lot of disagreement, whether, you know, we was talking about a fighter or we was talking about how to move my career. And we just decided like to come together, you know, and just come to an agreement to just part ways.
How do you want to see your career progress? Because I spoke to Bob Arum on Saturday, just before the Beterbiev Yard fight, and he said that you wanted to move at a quicker pace than what maybe they felt you'd be ready to do so. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I want the big fights. I'm ready. You know, I'm ready for it. You know, I did my numbers here. You know, I feel like now, you know, the whole last year I was injured, fighting my last two fights. You know, I fought injured. So it's like now I'm 100%, you know, and I just feel like I got the experience, you know, I got the knowledge to step in there with those type of guys. You know, I feel like me holding it back is just going to hold back my career. And I don't feel like I need that right now. I feel like right now I'm already a seasoned fighter to step in there with the Munguias, to step in there with the Canelos or the Triple Gs. You know, I'm ready for that type of competition right now.
There are obviously some huge names out there, and you've just mentioned a few. Let's just start off with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. I know you had a meeting with them recently. How did that go down? What did Eddie map out for you if you decided to team up with him?
I mean, wow, man, you know, my hat's off to Matchroom, man. Eddie's a great guy. You know, he's a legend in the sport. You know, he came from overseas and started crushing everything with promotion here in the U.S. And I look up to him. You know, like I say, he's a legend, man. And you know, all the promoters that you know that I sat down with. You know, you got Oscar De La Hoya, you got Al Haymon that I spoke to, Floyd that called me. These are all great guys, man. And you know, it's gonna be tough. My biggest test is gonna be having to pick one because of everybody that's treating me so well.
There's obviously fighters split across all promotional companies, Edgar. Just on the Eddie front, how did he map out, say, if you was to sign with him, how did he see, say, the next 2 years of your career going?
Yeah, I mean, you know, possibly, you know, getting a fight or two, and then crushing, you know, getting that Canelo fight. You know, obviously he's the guy that can make that happen. You know, so he was just talking about it and saying that it'll be a perfect match. For the simple fact, you know, I got an island behind me, and that's something different. You know, right now, Canelo's like one of the hottest things smoking right now in the sport of boxing, and he's the cash king cow right now. So, you know, it just makes sense. I'm pretty sure that if my name was presented to him at the table, you know, he won't hesitate to take the fight just because of the ticket sales or the hype of the fight, you know, that could bring to the world.
There's no denying that Canelo is still a pound-for-pound star despite his defeat to Dmitry Bivol came back, defeated Gennady Golovkin. For yourself, Edgar, you look at him, How confident do you feel that you could be the man to beat him at super middleweight if you were to secure that fight?
Oh, 1,000%. You know, I feel like right now I got all the advantages. You know, and I take my hats off to Canelo. You know, he's a beast. You know what I'm saying? He made his mark in the sport. He did what he had to do. But right now I feel like my generation's coming in. My generation's taking over. You know, his time is about to pass. You know, and it happens like that in boxing. You know, a certain time in boxing, you know, you have to just let the young guns come in and take over. And I feel like this is me. This is my time. You know, this is my time to make history. You know, become a world champion, possibly undisputed, and win all the belts, man.
Haymon's an interesting one as well because PBC have a whole host of 168ers or 160s in potential there with Charlo. You obviously got Benavidez planned due to face each other as well. What did Al have to say about how he could see your career going?
Yeah, the same way. You know, he did a lot of these. You know, the promoters that I sat with had the same vision. That's what makes it hard. You know, they appreciated me. You know, when they really like showed a lot of love that, you know, I didn't think I was gonna get, and you know, they really was like, damn, like this kid's a star. You know, he got the look, he could fight. You know, he packs out. You know, he sold out the Hulu Theater back to back. You know, a lot of fighters don't do that. So, you know, promoters, you know, obviously they look at if you could fight, but then they look at if you have the whole package, which is if you look good, if you could talk, you got a fan base, you got celebrities. You know, when you come like with the whole package, this is why I'm in the position where I'm at now. This is why I feel like I'm like a LeBron James or Kobe Bryant as a free agent right now.
When you became a free agent, Edgar, was you nervous at all that maybe there wouldn't be such a warm reception from other promoters, or was you always confident somebody would, or at least many people would reach out to you to see the state of play with your career?
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous because I didn't know what to expect. You know, this is my first time actually being a free agent, so I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not gonna lie, but like less than 24 hours the next day, Floyd called my phone. You know, I picked up and it was Floyd Mayweather talking to me, and I was like, holy, you know, it was crazy. I'm like, damn, Floyd called me and he's talking to me and he's telling me, you know, breaking down to me about fighting and, you know, him promoting me and stuff. And I, you know, told him, yo, reach out to my manager, Keith Conley. Next day, Al started calling, Oscar started calling, Matchroom started, Eddie Hearn started calling, and then from there I was, oh yeah, it's on, it popping. Like now I really know my worth.
Who do you think you're going to end up signing with?
Nah, that's a question mark right there. You know, we still looking at, you know, numbers. We still, you know, trying to figure out what's the best route to go with my career. You know, obviously there's 4 legendary promoters out there, and, you know, we're just going to take it day by day.
Do you have a timeline in place as to when you'd like to have a decision made up for yourself?
We're looking at most likely next week. You know, we're thinking about settling down and obviously coming into agreement with one of the promoters.
Edgar, listen, I appreciate your time. I know that you've got other people waiting to speak to you as well. You're a popular man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.